Hello everyone, I welcome you all for my physics lectures. So in today's video, we will study your BSc 6th semester physics paper 1, that is the third unit, nuclear physics. Okay, first of all, we will see the syllabus of your third unit. That is the first one, alpha rays. In alpha rays, theory of a decay, range, ionization, specific ionization and the Geiger-Nuttall relation. Okay, that is the syllabus they given for the alpha rays. And next here, beta decay. In beta decay, continuous beta spectrum and the neutrino hypothesis. Okay, next nuclear models. In nuclear models, liquid drop model, explanation of the semi-empirical mass formula, and next explanation of the nuclear fission on the basis of liquid drop model. And the next shell model, in that qualitative, and next last one is a magic number. They given the syllabus for the nuclear model, and the last one is the nuclear instruments. In that they given GM counter, scintillation counter, linear accelerator and the cyclotron, and the last one is a problem. Okay, first let's begin with some basics. So here, size of the atom and its constituents. So already we know that the atom, which consists of a center core, that is the nucleus, and whatever the electrons are there, that is revolving around the what? Nucleus. So that we call this as an atom. So atom which has the mass, so here first atom, that center core is nothing but a nucleus. So that nucleus consists of what? Proton and the neutron. Next the quark. Quark is nothing but the charges present in a proton. So the electron which is revolving around the water nucleus. Okay, this is the size of atom as well as the explanation of the nucleus as well as the electron. Okay, so this type of a size of the atom and it is constituent like this. We'll move to the next, that is atom and its constituent explanation. So here, nucleus is the central part of the atom, whereas the diameter is of the order of 10 raised to minus 14 meter. So here, one atom is there, center core is the nucleus, and the electron is revolving around the what? Nucleus. So first, nucleus. So nucleus is nothing but what? Center part of the atom, where its diameter they given. So the diameter is the order of 10 raised to minus 14 meter. Okay, that is the about nucleus. So next here, nucleus is nothing but here proton plus neutron. Okay, so next here, protons are positively charged and neutrons are neutral particles. Okay, so see here, we completed 3 points. First point, nucleus, it is center core of an atom and has the diameter 10 raised to minus 14 meter, and the positively charged, and the neutrons are a neutral particle. Next here, number of protons, that we call or indicate a notation capital Z, that is equal to atomic number. Next, number of nucleons, that is A, capital A. Next, we can write proton plus neutron, that is equal to mass number. A is nothing but mass number. We can call this as a proton plus neutron is equal to mass number. Next here, number of neutron, that is nothing but a mass number minus the number of protons, that is A minus Z. So here, the Rutherford, who was the first suggested that the existence of an atomic nucleus when he was postulating an atomic model. When the Rutherford giving the theory of the postulating of the atomic model, that time they given that the atom consists of the nucleus. So in that here, first point, mass of the nucleus, that is equal to M equal to Z M P plus bracket A minus Z into bracket complete Mn minus delta M. So here already we know that capital M is nothing but mass of the nucleus, and Z is nothing but a atomic number, and A is nothing but a mass number. Here Mp and Mn they given. So that Mp is nothing but a mass of the proton. Okay, that EMP is nothing but 1.67261 into 10 raised to minus 17 kg. Next, mass of the neutron, that is Mn. They given Mn is equal to 1.67492 into 10 raised to minus 17 kg. Next here, delta M. Delta M is nothing but a mass defect. So, the mass defect is equal to sum of all proton and neutrons minus actual mass of the nucleons. Okay. So, we'll come to the next point. So, say charge of the nucleus. So, the charge of the nucleus is given by plus Ze, where E is the charge on each proton, that is E equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 into C. So, there we are studying the nucleus. In nucleus, the proton and neutrons are present. So, proton is positively charged. So, they given the charges in terms of plus Ze. We are not taking here minus Ze. Here Z is nothing but what? That is charge of the proton, that is positive. So, that's why we are taking here a positive. So, E is charge of the what? Each proton, that is E equal to, here also we have to take plus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So, see here, next radius of the nucleus. So, radius of the nucleus is nothing but R equal to R naught into A raised to 1 by 3. So, where R naught is nothing but 1.4 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter and A is nothing but what? Mass number. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. That is, they given one atomic nucleus, by that emitting of alpha particle, beta particle and the gamma ray. So, see here, first alpha particle are doubly ionized helium atom. So, alpha particle is what? It will be doubly ionized and that is helium atom. Next here, beta particle are a fast moving electrons and the gamma rays are photons of a wavelength of 10 raised to minus 11 meter to 10 raised to minus 13 meter. Okay. This is about the atomic nucleus and emitting or ejecting of the alpha, beta and the gamma rays. So, see here, alpha decay. What is the alpha decay? So, see here, most of the radioactive nuclei with atomic number greater than 82. So, see here first what is the radioactive nuclei? So, radioactive nuclei is nothing but in a periodic table the atom which has the atomic number greater than 82, such an element we can call this as a radioactive element. Okay. So, first line, most of the radioactive nuclei with the atomic number greater than 82 spontaneously disintegrate. So, it can be start spontaneously means naturally integrate. Okay. So, here the process in which an alpha particle spontaneously ejected from the disintegration nucleus by losing 2 protons and 2 neutrons is called alpha decay. So, here they given the definition of the alpha decay. So, alpha decay, first we should know what is the radioactive element. In a periodic table, the element which has the atomic number more than the 82, we can call this as a radioactive element. So, we are taking one radioactive element, by that disintegration is taking place naturally or spontaneously. By the disintegration, here for alpha decay, ejection will taking place. So, here ejection of water, 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So, such a decay we can call this as a alpha decay. Next here, reduction in the nuclear mass, that is equal to mass of the parent nucleus minus mass of the daughter nucleus. Okay, here decay will take place. So, reduction in the nuclear mass we can write it as mass of a parent nucleus minus mass of a water daughter nucleus. Next here, these reduced mass corresponding to Coulomb energy which is carried away by the alpha particle. Here they given one equation. Here the decay type, generic equation and the model. So, here alpha particles are there. After the decay from parent element we are getting a daughter. So see here we are taking alpha decay A, Z, X. X is our element and A is the mass number, Z is the atomic number. By that decay, so we are taking here nothing but our alpha particle, in that we are taking the helium atom. That's why we can A minus 4 and a Z minus 2. Plus we are getting alpha decay as a 4 into 2. Okay. So this is the explanation of this slide of alpha decay. We'll move to the next. Properties of alpha particle. So see here in that point wise we will study. So see the first point, they are positively charged particle. So the alpha particles are positively charged and they are presented by helium-24. Okay. So first property, it is positively charged and the atom is we are taking as a helium-24. So second here, they are deflected by electric and magnetic field. So alpha rays are deflected, or the alpha particle are deflected by what? Electric and magnetic field. Why? Because it is positively charged. By that positive charge, it can be deflected with respect to electric as well as the what? Magnetic field. Okay, that is the second point. We'll move to the third point. Velocity of alpha particle. So see here. Velocity of alpha particle, that is depend upon the what? Nature of emitting radioactive element. So whatever the velocity of alpha particle is there, that is depend upon the what? Nature of the radioactive element. Okay. So next see the fourth one. They produce heating effect when stopped. Whatever the ejection is stopped, it will be what? Heating effect will produce. Next see the fifth one, the affect photographic plates. So the alpha particle can be affect the photographic plates. That is not the fifth property. Next here sixth one, they produce fluorescence in a zinc sulfide, barium, platinocyanide, etc. So here fluorescence will be produced in such a zinc sulfide, barium, platinocyanide, etc. That is the sixth property. Next seventh one, they cause intense ionization when passes through the gases. Their ionizing capacity is higher than the beta and gamma ray. So here the ionization power and the ionization capacity is more than beta and the gamma. Why? Because it is positively charged. Due to the positive charge, the ionization capacity is more as compared to beta and the gamma. And next here, the eighth one, they have lowest penetrating power as compared to beta and gamma ray when they pass through the matter. So whatever the penetrating power means, passing power is low as compared to as compared to beta and gamma. Okay, this is the properties. So first the property they given for the charge, it is positively charged and the helium atom. And second one is water, it can be deflected by electric and the magnetic field. And third property is water, alpha particle is water, depending upon the water nature of the emitting element. And the fourth one is the water producing the heating effect when it will be get stopped. And the fifth one, they affected a photographic plate. Sixth one, they produce the fluorescence on a zinc sulfide, etc. And the seventh one, they cause intense ionization when passes through the gases, and the ionization is high as compared to beta and the gamma. And the last one is water, it have the lowest penetrating power as compared to beta and gamma. So see here, this is the water properties of the alpha particle. So we'll move to the next, that is the range of an alpha particle, that is capital R. So see here, the range of the alpha particle is defined as, first they given the definition of the range of a alpha particle. What is the range of alpha particle means? It is defined as distance travelled through air. So first point is what? Distance travelled through air at NTP before it loses its ionization power. So some distance is traveling in air at water NTP before it loses its ionizing power. Next here, range R of an alpha particle depend upon, whatever the range of alpha particle is there, it is depend upon the factor, that is the first one. See here, initial velocity of a alpha particle. First one is what? Initial velocity of a alpha particle. Second one is what? Nature of a radioactive element emitting by the alpha particle. Whatever the element is there, by that element the alpha particle is what? Emitted or the ejected. So that is the what? The nature of radioactive element. Third one is what? The pressure of the gases through which they passes. Okay, third one is what? Whatever the nature of the gases which they pass. Okay, so that the alpha particle range depend upon three factors. Next here, range they given that R is equal to A into V naught cube. So where A is nothing but a 9.6 into 10 raised to minus 24. Okay, but V naught is what? V naught is nothing but E naught divided by 2.08 into 10 raised to minus 14 bracket raised to half. So therefore R is nothing but B E naught into 3 by 2. Okay, therefore R is nothing but R is equal to B E naught raised to 3 by 2, where B is nothing but 3.18 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, that is the range. So next here, continuation part. If Rs and R are the range of a alpha particle in a solid and in air. So see here, Rs we are taking. Here Rs nothing but a range in a solid, and R is nothing but what? Range in a R of alpha particle we are taking. So next here, that time Rs is equal to 0.312 R A raised to half divided by 2, where here rho is nothing but what? Density of the solid. If we take the range of alpha particle in a solid material, so we can write this formula, and here rho is nothing but what? Density of our solid material. And the last one, specific ionization. So at atmospheric pressure is the number of ions pair per centimeter of the path produced by the radioactive element. So they given next the specification or the specific ionization definition. So the specific ionization at atmospheric pressure is the what? That is the number of ions pair per centimeter of the path produced by the radioactive element. So we can call this as a specific ionization. Okay, in this slide we studied the range of alpha particle, and it depend upon the three factor as well as the formula, and the range of alpha particle in solid as well as the water air material, and the last one is a specific ionization. Okay, we'll move to the next, Geiger-Nuttall relation. So the Geiger-Nuttall relation, that is connect the range and energy with the disintegration constant. So here they given one graphical representation, that is log lambda versus log r, and they given the series of the radiation. So here in that first point, the emitted alpha particle do not carry the same energy. Whatever the alpha particle is emitted, they do not carry the same energy, hence we can conclude their ranges are different. Okay. So here, the next point, they explain the Geiger and Nuttall. They observe that nuclides with the shorter half-life, whatever the nuclei is there which has the shorter lifetime, then they emit what? Alpha particles of higher energy and vice versa. Okay, they explain in a second point. So next is here in a third point, the relation between a disintegrant constant or a disintegration constant, we can call this as a lambda. So here taken the log lambda, lambda is nothing but a disintegration constant. So the relation between the disintegration constant lambda and the range r is log lambda is equal to a log r plus b. So where a and b are nothing but a constant. Next they given the what relation of the disintegration constant and the range. So by that A and B are the what constant. So next the last point, they given the relation between the disintegration constant and the energy. So what they connected, they given here, that is log lambda is equal to 3/2 A log E naught plus B. So here again where A and B are the constant. Okay, this is the explanation of the Geiger-Nuttall relation. Okay. So in next class or next video we will continue this. Okay, thank you.